Hi, welcome to the Carla 2020 conference. We are Elizabeth Prommer and Skadi Loist, and in this brief presentation, we want to give you an overview of our chapter, Where are the Female Creatives? The Status Quo of the German Screen Industry. There are three key takeaways from our piece. 1. Women are starkly underrepresented in creative positions behind the camera. 2. There's an equally stark underrepresentation of women on German film and television screens. 3. There's a direct correlation between the amount of women producing screen content and women represented on screen. Let's get into this a bit more detailed.
Regarding key takeaway point number 1, the underrepresentation behind the camera. Several studies have been conducted in recent years, either within academia, by funding organizations like the German Federal Film Board, or industry groups like the Directors Guild. The study Gender and Film from 2017 is based on production data for the full sample of films distributed between 2011 and 2015, and shows that women are underrepresented in almost all creative positions, and that applies to both documentary and feature films. Looking at the key roles, 72% of the films were directed exclusively by men, so that is only a quarter by women. Women produced 72% of the films. However, if mixed gender teams, so including men and women, are not counted, only 14% of the films were produced exclusively by women. In addition, 61% of scripts were written by men only, and only 23% exclusively by women. In sound and camera departments, men fill over 90% of the positions. However, these are also the training programs with the lowest enrollment in women. The underrepresentation of women is equally seen in the television sector. There's only incremental change that's happening. With these small increase rates, parity in TV might only be achieved in 2030, when the goal was actually 50-50 by 2020. As we can see on the slide, there's a stark loss of creative potential. Nearly half of the film school graduates for directing, producing and writing are women, but they cannot enter the industry in these numbers.
Regarding takeaway 2, the underrepresentation of women on screen. The most recent study Faded Out Women in Film and Television, based on a detailed quantitative content analysis of television programs from a representative sample of television of 2016, provides a comprehensive picture of the current situation on German screens. The analysis of screen appearances and roles of women and men in fiction, entertainment, news journalism, or documentaries showed 4 key results. Women are underrepresented in all genres. 67% of the actors and protagonists we see on TV are male, only 33% are female. This is 1-2. There's an age gap. Up to the age of 30, female and male leading roles are about equal. After 50 years, there are 4 male characters versus 1 female character. Men explain the world. They are the experts, journalists, and game show hosts we see on television. And scary, the future is not going to be equal, since the imbalance is even bigger in children TV. 1 female character versus 3 male characters. And even in the world of imaginary characters, it's almost exclusively male. We see, when we see animal characters portrayed, then there's a 9-to-1 ratio as male to female. Regarding key takeaway number 3, there is a correlation between gender in creative positions and women's visibility on screen. We have set the previous mentioned data set into relation between what we see on screen and who produced the content. In-depth analysis showed that the gender of the producer for films and the commissioning editor in television production is crucial both for the gender balance of the creative team and the on-screen visibility of women. Female producers work more often with female writers and directors, and they also produce films with more female leads. The gender of the commissioning editor, producer, and screenwriter are significantly related to the visibility of women, as we can see in this slide. With a female commissioning editor in charge, we see an average of 1.6 female protagonists. With a male commissioning editor, only 0.6 women in leading roles. This is almost only a third. If a woman writes the script or produces a television program, we also see significantly more women on screen. Interestingly, when women and men work together, the visibility of women on screen does not adhere to this pattern, but rather tends to the male behavior. If a woman can decide alone, then we will see more women on screen. If a man is involved, we will see less.
So, what is happening in Germany to tackle these issues? Industry advocacy organizations like Pro Quote Film fight for a quota system to support women and join the call for 50-50 by 2020. However, German politics have been notorious in working against quotas for decades. Considering the gender distribution of film school alumni, women face challenges when entering the industry. Taking this problem seriously, 6 German film schools drafted the position paper Together for Gender Equality, which presents measures that address issues of gender discrimination on a structural level and aim at equal opportunities, zero tolerance of gender violence and abuse, and push for a gender-sensitive approach to content development and production in teaching already. 2 months ago, the regional film funder Filmförderung Hamburg-Schleswig-Holstein launched a diversity checklist that's comparable to the BFI standards that professionals need to fill in when applying for funds. This is the first funder within Germany to specifically address the topic. However, many industry conversations still result in a rebuttal of a quota system with the argument that the arts are free, only quality counts, and no one, for instance funders with a quota system, should interfere with artistic freedom and quality. As awareness on gender equity in the industry is rising, there still remains significant work to be done on issues of diversity and intersectionality. This requires attention on the intersections of gender inequality and structural discrimination based on sexuality, race and ethnicity, disability, age, class, social status, social mobility, and care tasks. Initiatives such as the newly established Queer Media Society and groups of German, Black, and Asian film professionals joined forces with Pro Quote Film, the human rights advocacy group Citizens for Europe, and the web-based industry platform Crew United, and are currently conducting a large-scale survey to collect data on diversity and discrimination behind the camera. These initiatives, organizations, and creatives aim to work towards achieving a greater diversity in the German film and television production in front of and behind the camera.
Why does this all matter? We see with our data it matters who makes our audiovisual content. The more diverse people are involved behind the camera, the more diversity we see on screen. There's still a lot to be done, but we are on our way. Bye!